One bird, one perfect moment. And just when it happened, the camera battery died. That's the unpredictable world of wildlife photography. Hi, I'm Rashmi. Welcome to Neosciencehub podcast. Today we are going to interact with Masood Hussain, a Hyderabadi wildlife photographer. Hi sir, welcome to neosciencehub sir. So sir, you have captured one bird photo which almost took 45 minutes, and during that time and your camera battery was drained, right? So at that moment what was running in your mind?
As long as the subject is there in front of the lens, and as long as I'm getting the opportunity to click it, I prefer to keep shooting. And that was some action going on, and I didn't want to miss any behavior, any part of the scene that was going on. And it is not about 45 minutes. There have been times when I've waited more as well, as long as the subject is cooperating. So yeah, there is adrenaline rush because the battery was going to drain, and but luckily I got my shot, so all is well that ends well. Yeah.
So you are the first person in Hyderabad as a wildlife photographer, and London was recognized you. So how was your moment that time?
It was a very proud moment indeed, because Natural History Museum Wildlife Photographer of the Year is considered as the Oscars of wildlife photography. So when I started photography, I had this dream. Every wildlife photographer has this dream of being awarded at the Natural History Museum. So it came to me after I think 10 years of starting off, and it was a tough journey. It was a very enjoyable journey, but when I received the award, it was an amazing feeling. Yeah.
So sir, by profession you are an engineer, right? And by passion you are a wildlife photographer. So how was your journey started?
So photography I had started as a hobby when I was a kid. My grandfather was a good photographer, and he had taught me how to handle cameras, how to load films. That was the film era. The cameras were not digital at that time. So that is where I had started learning. But then I pursued my studies. There was a long gap where I was not doing any photography. Much later in life, after I finished my engineering, then I picked up a camera, the DSLR, my first DSLR. And from there on, the journey actually started. The wildlife photography journey started.
So sir, how was your parents' support during, when you said them that you want to get into a photography field? So what was the reaction from them?
Well, I had my mother with me at that time. My father passed away when I was very small, and my mother has always been very encouraging. She was at that time. Initially, yes, she was a bit scared, because wildlife photography requires me to, take up a lot of challenges, going to the jungles and all. She had a very different vision about it. So she was scared, but then she never stopped me from doing anything. So she had seen the kind of passion I had for wildlife, and there was always encouragement from her side.
So sir, when you were studying in your school, right? So when you see your friends are in different field, so how proud you feel by yourself by saying, oh, I have not chosen this field or that I am a wildlife photographer?
Well, it feels good. It definitely feels good because I studied at the Hyderabad Public School, Begumpet, and my school has played a very big role in shaping my career. Taking up challenges and doing things in a perfect manner was actually taught to me at school. So it feels good to make my city proud, my school proud, and yeah.
So sir, when you picked your first DSLR camera, so what was the first object you have captured, and you were like satisfied with that picture?
Okay, so when I first bought my DSLR, my photography journey started like any other beginner. I used to photograph just about anything, not specifically wildlife. I used to photograph buildings, people, portraits. I used to shoot anything. But then very quickly I realized that there wasn't too much of a challenge or fun doing that, because a lot of people have already been doing, and many beginners had passed through that stage and they had stopped photography. So while I was doing a lot of reading about photography those days, I was learning from books and various resources. I came across an expert photographer who told the most difficult subject to photograph are birds. I think my journey changed after I read that statement. So I was looking for something that was very challenging and unique. So that is where I started my wildlife photography journey. So that is how it happened.
So sir, as you said, the bird photography is actually challenging, right?
Yeah.
So at present we can see so many competitors are there. So when you are traveling to some place, you can see most of the photographers are also there.
Yeah.
So how difficult do you face that time, because the noise should not be there while capturing birds, right?
Yeah.
So if someone photographer is making little noise also, if you had some good plan of capturing, so at that moment what kind of things will be running in your mind?
See, when it comes to bird photography, because of this reason, I usually prefer to travel alone, or a maximum of one more photographer with me. So bird photography doesn't happen in groups. Like you mentioned, birds are extremely sensitive, and they will not allow the photographer to come anywhere close to get a good shot. And when there is too much of noise and a lot of people around, it becomes very difficult to get a good bird picture. So I usually prefer to travel alone when I'm doing bird photography. At the most there is one more photographer with me, or a local guide who shows us around.
So sir, when you are starting this passion as a profession, right? So when we talk about the finance issues and everything, so how it was during your time? Because like getting into a wildlife photography, it's not easy, right?
Yeah.
You need a financial support.
Yes.
So how difficult?
So the good thing with me was I had completed my engineering, and I had also started my own business before I actually started wildlife photography. And when wildlife photography became a profession, even I could not understand. It started as a hobby, and the initial investment that was needed for my equipment wasn't too difficult for me, because as I said, I had already started my business and taken it to a certain level. So wildlife photography, when actually wildlife photography started, I was actually taking a sabbatical from work. So that is how it started, and it slowly turned into something which gave me my identity.
So sir, tell us about has you won Natural History Museum
yeah.
award that. So could you just tell our viewers what exactly it is and how did you get into that and what was that picture which got attractive to them?
Okay. So I started wildlife photography in 2009, and initially it was a learning curve, and slowly I started getting improvements in my work, and I could feel that. I was taking better pictures by the day, and it was only 3 years later when I submitted a few images of mine to a local competition that was being held in Hyderabad. So Hyderabad was hosting the biodiversity conference in 2012. So that is where the United Nations had organized a bird photography competition here, and one of my image got the first prize. That was my first award, and that award was like fuel to the fire. When you start achieving, when you start getting rewards and awards for your work, it encourages you to do better, and that is how it worked. So then until then I didn't even know about the various photography competitions that happen globally. But that was when I actually did some research, and I tried to get some knowledge about these international competitions, how they happen, how we have to enter, what time of the year do they conduct. So that is when I came to know about this award, which is called the Natural History Museum Wildlife Photographer of the Year. It is till date the most prestigious award in wildlife photography, and from then onwards, every year I used to enter my images, with the hope to win that award someday. It only happened in 2020 that there were multiple times when I reached the final rounds of the competition but never got the award until 2020. So in the year 2020, I received an email which confirmed and congratulated me for being awarded, and sharing the news with me that my image had been selected. Very proud moment it was for me because it's a global platform and I was actually representing my country. So, and it was a dream come true for me.
So sir, you have captured n number of birds. So do you still feel that you haven't captured one bird?
Yeah, there are many birds that I still have to capture. The journey goes on. I still continue to do my work. Although the quantity of images that I used to take initially have drastically reduced now, because when you reach a certain level of perfection and standard, you raise the bar on yourself, things become a little difficult. So I just cannot continue shooting the way I shoot. I need to improve every time. So that makes things a little difficult. So I am photographing a little less than I used to. But yeah, the work is continuing.
So sir, how do you maintain your diet being such an energetic person while capturing the images?
Yeah, fitness has been a part of my regimen actually, because initial days of my wildlife photography, I had very quickly realized that fitness is a very, very prominent part of being a wildlife photographer, because there's a lot of physical exertion that happens on the field. Trekking for many kilometers every day with a lot of equipment on your back. So I regularly go to the gym, and my eating habits and all are always under a check. So yeah, I am a fitness freak.
So we have, I have heard personally many photographers usually doing a wildlife photography, especially carrying huge lens, right?
Yeah.
So most of them, they have some issues like muzzle tear. So such kind of incidents has happened with you?
Not exactly an injury, but fatigue and getting tired very quickly it used to happen as a beginner. So that is when I realized that fitness has to be a part of my everyday routine. But then very quickly I adapted to it, and I still work out, I still go to the gym, and I keep myself always ready for an adventure.
So sir, do you think that wildlife photographer in India especially, they get good amount?
Not really. The revenue part of wildlife photography is a sad affair in India. It's not easy to make good money from wildlife photography, especially in India, unless you are exceptional, and the competition out there is very high, and you need to be very, very different, and only photography cannot, I think, fetch you good money here in India. There are a lot of other things that are related to wildlife photography, like doing workshops, taking wildlife tours. So you need to have different channels all put together to get some good revenue from wildlife photography. Yeah.
So sir, whenever you meet your childhood friends, so how do they react when they heard that you are a wildlife photographer and you have won award?
All my friends keep following my work and my achievements, and they have always been a great source of encouragement for me. They are extremely proud about all my achievements and the kind of work I am doing. So they have played a great role in encouraging me and supporting me.
So sir, apart from wildlife photography, we have heard that you play piano also, right?
Yeah, I am a musician as well. So I play 3 instruments. I play the piano, I play the violin, and I recently started playing the saxophone as well.
So while capturing photos, do you remember any music?
No, music has actually not too much of connection with wildlife on the field. But yeah, between safaris I get a lot of time, so I do practice music while I'm on a tour, on a wildlife tour. So it feels, it is like meditation, playing the flute in the jungle when you're not photographing, and
So sir, any music which you have captured, like the tuning which you have captured from your photography and you thought, yeah, this tuning should go with this picture?
Not really. I haven't experimented that. Haven't mixed music with wildlife as yet. But yeah, sometimes when I share my pictures online on Instagram, or there is an option to add some background music to it. So a couple of times I have added my own flute music pieces.
So sir, whenever you are going to capture big cats, so did you get any fear while capturing big cats?
Not really. Initially, there were a little bit of I won't say scared, but skeptical, and yeah, it's pretty safe. So nothing to be worried about. Yeah.
You always say in wildlife photography, if you miss the shot, it's gone.
Yes.
So can you just tell about it?
Yeah. So the best or the most difficult part of wildlife photography, why wildlife photography is difficult, is because you don't get another chance. Unlike when you're photographing people, you can take the shot again, you can ask them to pose for you, you can make them smile, and if you still miss the shot, you can try to take another shot. But wildlife photography doesn't work that way. The subject is not under your control whatsoever. You can't make a tiger smile, you can't make it turn around. So once it is gone, it is gone. If the bird has flown away, it has flown away. So that is why I keep telling that you miss a shot in wildlife, you miss it forever. So you've got to then again try for another shot at another place at another time. So that is why I keep saying.
So sir, in Hyderabad, if a photographer, a youngster who wants to start his career into a wildlife photography, especially when he's starting from Hyderabad, what are the places where he has to capture the pictures?
See, as a beginner, I started off from the local parks, the local gardens here in Hyderabad. There is Sanjeevaya Park and there is Indira Park. So these are the places where you find at least the common urban birds. And then I started exploring lakes around the city. Hyderabad is a city of lakes. We have a lot of lakes around the city, and that is where a lot of migratory birds also come. So there is Aminpur Lake, which is extremely, it's a biodiversity hotspot, and a lot of birds come down during winter. These are the places where you can start off.
Sir, at present generation you can see AI. Most of them, if they want any picture, they are just giving a prompt and within 5 seconds you are getting an image. So how difficult it is for a photographer when they see when AI is doing their work?
Well, my take on this subject is very clear actually. I have seen the advent of AI, and although it might have developed a lot over the past few years, I still don't see anything that is close to an original photograph shot by a photographer. These digital images that are generated by an algorithm, they simply cannot match the quality of work done by a wildlife photographer on the field. And I think it is better avoided. I don't know in which way it can help, whether it is photography or any form of art. Art is all about emotions, and AI can do anything but add emotion to your art. So when there is no emotion attached, I don't think your wildlife photography can convey a message or have an impact. So doesn't work that way. It's I think we should call it more of digital art than wildlife photography.
So sir, when you are traveling to other countries, especially you are from Hyderabad, right? When you are traveling to other countries, what food do you really miss?
I really miss home food, and I'm a big biryani fan. I miss biryani, and yeah, that is.
So when you are going for a photo shoot, right? So will you have a chai or biryani before capturing the image?
See, my day starts with a cup of chai. Early morning safaris, we wake up very early for safaris, and that is, we wake up with a cup of tea, and we always also carry some tea inside the jungle so that while we are waiting or we have time, we keep sipping, and it feels really good.
So sir, as you said, your grandfather was a photographer, right? So what inspired you from him that you want to get into complete wildlife photography? He was not a wildlife photographer,
Yeah, he
right?
was not a wildlife photographer. For me, getting into wildlife was, the only reason was I was looking to do something challenging and unique. That was the only reason. It started off as a hobby, and the hobby became more serious, and when I started receiving recognition and awards, it further gave me a lot of encouragement to do better and raise the bar on myself. That is how the journey began. And
so you have met big shot peoples like Ambani and everyone. So that moment, how you were feeling? Like, have you ever thought that you're going to meet them?
No, I actually had never thought about meeting Mr. Mukesh Ambani. The Natural History Museum Wildlife Photographer of the Year awards that happened in 2020 they happened during the lockdown actually. So the photographers who were awarded were actually invited to London at the Natural History Museum. The award ceremony happens, but because there was lockdown going on everywhere because of the COVID and this thing, we could not go personally to receive our awards. So in the history of these awards are being given for the past 40 years now. It was the first time that this ceremony and the exhibition of the winning images was taken out of London to another country, that was India. and the person responsible for bringing it to India was Mr. Mukesh Ambani. The event happened at the Neeta Ambani Cultural Center in Mumbai, and only those photographers who have been awarded at the Natural History Museum were invited to the event. And yeah, it was a beautiful event hosted by the Ambanis, and Mr. and Mrs. Mukesh Ambani both were personally present. We were felicitated, and I got the opportunity to speak to Mr. Ambani for quite some time, telling him about the winning photograph, and we spoke a lot about wildlife, and it was, yeah, these moments are really very, very precious.
So sir, what is your best and emotional moment?
Emotions are a part of wildlife photography. Like I said, when I'm observing things while I'm on the field, so there is a lot that I keep learning every day. Even today, every day is a learning experience. So there have been a lot of moments that I have witnessed, sometimes captured on the camera, which are very emotional, and they teach you about the animal behavior, and there are a lot of stories that I convey through my images.
So sir, what would you like to give name for your journey as a filmy if it would be a Bollywood?
You mean the title?
Yeah.
I think I would name it Take the Shot.
One Hyderabadi slang which you usually use most of the time when you are into a jungle.
Well, I actually can't think of it because we usually don't speak much. We are, while we are in the jungle, it is either we speak, we only whisper, or we use gestures.
But inner voice will be like telling you.
I can't think of anything like that.
So the best slang you like, Hyderabadi slang?
Absolutely, it's world famous. So I'm a true blue Hyderabadi, a very proud Hyderabadi. And
so which slang do you like?
I can't think of a sentence, but everything, kya ho raha miyan, kya kar rahe yaro.
So when you are capturing or like that shot, you missed it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like kya yaar ye baigan ka shot?
Baigan mein mil gaya shot. Yes.
Because most of them they use baigan word, right?
Yeah.
If someone has to give a commentary to your photo, would you prefer Hyderabadi Urdu or English?
I think Hyderabadi
So
would sound very. Hyderabadi slang also is very descriptive. So I think Hyderabadi slang would look good. I have never heard that kind of thing being done, but I would love to hear someday.
So sir, have you ever given a photo captions for your photography in Hyderabadi slang?
No, not yet. But I'll try doing that one day.
So at present generation, like most of them are capturing good pictures even from phone. So what do you suggest, phone or DSLR?
See, phones are doing a great job, no doubt, but absolutely straightforward, wildlife photography cannot happen with a phone. You need a proper DSLR, you need proper lenses. So although these mobile phone companies are coming up with zoom lenses and a lot of features to woo their customers, but I don't think it works in a way that it should. In fact, even the DSLRs are outdated now. So the technology has changed to mirrorless cameras.
Yes.
So a good mirrorless camera with a decent lens is how you have to.
So your opinion, like if someone wants to get into a photography field and he can't afford much, right? So what basic camera he has to use?
I think all entry-level cameras are doing good. You don't need to have very expensive cameras and lenses to start off. So any entry-level camera that suits your budget and a decent focal length lens you can start off. It is not a very expensive hobby. I think the more expenses go into traveling than equipment initially. I think one should spend more money on travel than equipment, than buying expensive lenses and all.
So sir, most of the photography we have seen, like when they capture, afterwards they do post-production work, right?
Yeah.
So do you recommend that kind of thing?
See, post-processing is a part of photography. You cannot, get away without doing any post-processing. The camera is still a camera. It cannot match the human eye. So there are a lot of tweaks that need to be done. Adjustments that happen after you click the picture. But there is a very fine line. A bad picture cannot be improved by post-processing techniques. A good picture can be enhanced. There's a difference. So, and also being in wildlife photography, you are not supposed to change too much in the image. It has to be very real. It has to be the way you shot it. And even the reputed competitions that happen, the jury might disqualify your image if they see a lot of post-processing has been done.
So सर, अभी हम प्रेजेंट हैदराबाद में देख सकते हैं कि वल्चर्स नहीं है, राइट? ओनली हम लोग जब देखते हैं वो जू में है, वो भी थोड़े. तो जब आप फोटोग्राफी अपना स्टार्ट कर रहे थे तो बहुत सारे वल्चर्स देखने के लिए मौका मिलता था, जैसे गोलकोंडा, हर प्लेस में. तो आपका ओपिनियन क्या है इसके ऊपर?
देखो, वल्चर्स तो तब भी नहीं थे जब मैं फोटोग्राफी स्टार्ट किया, तभी से इनके नंबर्स डिक्लाइन होना शुरू हो गए थे. इनफैक्ट एज अ किड, मैं जब बचपन में हमारे घर पे जो कॉमन स्पैरो आती थी वो भी अब नहीं दिखती. वल्चर्स तो काफ़ी बड़े बर्ड्स हो गए, लेकिन इवन द कॉमन जो चिड़िया कॉमन स्पैरो होती थी वो भी अब आपको ज़्यादा नहीं दिखते कहीं. सो देर इज़ अ डिक्लाइन बिकॉज हमारे ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट जिस तरीके से हो रहा है, सेल फोन टावर्स का रेडियो अपना इंटरफेरेंस जो है, और बहुत सारा रेडिएशन, उसकी वजह से जो है देयर हैज़ बीन अ लॉट ऑफ इफेक्ट ऑन बर्ड बिहेवियर एंड दिस थिंग. तो वल्चर्स का जो हो रहा था, वल्चर्स बेसिकली ये दे फीड ऑन डेड एनिमल्स लाइक कैटल, डेड कैटल. तो ये कैटल को रेज करने में काफ़ी सारे मेडिकेशंस कैटल को दिए जाते हैं, डाइक्लोफेनाक एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट विच आर गिवन टू these animals. So when they die and the vultures are feeding on them, these medicines get transmitted and ये medication के effect वो transmit होते हैं उनको. So that was a major reason for the decline in vulture numbers. So even lot of other common species are also getting affected.
So सर, आप जैसे जब भी कुछ इमेज, कुछ ऐसे बर्ड्स का कुछ कैप्चर करते हो तो आपके दिमाग में कुछ एक ऑब्जेक्ट रहता है कि हमें इस वे में कैप्चर करना है करके, वैसा कुछ थॉट चलता रहता है?
हाँ, थॉट तो फील्ड पे जाने से पहले ही होता है कि भाई इस बर्ड को इस तरीके से मैं कैप्चर कर सकूं तो अच्छा रहेगा. लेकिन हर बार पॉसिबल नहीं हो पाता. दोबारा कोशिश करना पड़ता है. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि बर्ड के उतने पास जा नहीं सकते, और कई बार ऐसा होता है लाइटिंग आपके सपोर्ट में नहीं होती. तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं. सो जब एक अच्छा शॉट बनता है तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें मिल के एक साथ सही होती हैं. सो दैट इज़ व्हेन अ गुड शॉट हैपन्स.
तो सर, आपको ऐसे नहीं लगता कि तेलंगाना गवर्नमेंट ऐसे फोटोग्राफर्स जैसे जिसको पैशन है तो उनको सपोर्ट करके या इंस्टीट्यूशन या कुछ ना कुछ स्टार्ट करना चाहिए? आई थिंक देर आर अ लॉट ऑफ अदर आर्ट फॉर्म्स दैट आर गेटिंग देयर शेयर, बट वाइल्ड लाइफ फोटोग्राफी या पर्टिकुलरली वाइल्ड लाइफ फोटोग्राफी से रिलेटेड कोई इंस्टीट्यूट या ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. तो it will be really good if the government comes up with initiatives where people can take up wildlife photography, because wildlife photography is सिर्फ एक हॉबी की तरह आप अगर उसको देखते हैं तब भी बहुत अच्छी चीज़ है. प्लस उसके साथ जो
चीज़ें होती हैं दैट कैन बेनिफिट ओवर अ लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम। एक वाइल्ड लाइफ फोटोग्राफर ऑटोमेटिकली एक कंजर्वेशनिस्ट भी बन जाता है, और अच्छे वाइल्ड लाइफ इमेजेस लोगों को इंस्पायर करते हैं जंगल जाने और जानवरों को देखने, जानवरों से मोहब्बत करना। ये सारी चीज़ें एक वाइल्ड लाइफ की इमेज से ही स्टार्ट होती है। तो कंजर्वेशन हैपन्स थ्रू वाइल्ड लाइफ फोटोग्राफी।
Sir, apart from photography, how do you spend your day?
Like I said, I still have my business, so थोड़ा बहुत business भी कर लेता हूँ and yeah, other than that I do a lot of music. Like I play multiple instruments, so I keep practicing, I keep playing something, I keep recording something, कुछ ना कुछ चलता रहता है if I'm not traveling.
सर, अगर से आपको एक अपॉर्चुनिटी दी है कि आप एक म्यूज़िक प्रोडक्शन के लिए काम करो और वाइल्ड लाइफ फोटोग्राफी का भी अपॉर्चुनिटी आया, तो आप दोनों में से कौन सा सेलेक्ट करोगे?
I think wildlife. Yeah, wildlife has always been my primary thing, and of course I love music as well, but wildlife photography में मुझे जो सुकून मिलता है वो अनमैच्ड है।
तो सर, अगर से आपको फ्यूचर में आपका कुछ प्लानिंग है कि ऐसे म्यूज़िक से रिलेटेड कुछ बनाऊं?
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ प्लान तो नहीं है, लेकिन आई विल बी डूइंग अ लॉट ऑफ म्यूज़िक प्रोफेशनली एज वेल। ऑलरेडी धीरे धीरे हो रहा है कि यू नो आई कीप गेटिंग इन्विटेशंस फ्रॉम ऑर्गेनाइजर्स टू परफॉर्म फॉर देम। तो हो सकता है आगे चल के जो है कुछ म्यूज़िक से रिलेटेड भी कुछ करूँ।
तो सर, आपने इतने सारे फ़ोटोज़ जो कैप्चर किया, उसमें से एक फ़ोटो जो आपको अच्छा लगा और उसको आप हैदराबादी स्लैंग में कुछ कैप्शन देना होगा तो क्या होगा?
बहुत डिफ़िकल्ट है, बहुत डिफ़िकल्ट है ये। अलबत्ता ये ज़रूर कर सकता हूँ कि आई कैन टॉक अबाउट अ couple of images that are close to my heart. The first one being the image which got me the award. लेपर्ड का जो इमेज है मेरा, जो जिसको अवार्ड मिला था नेचुरल हिस्ट्री म्यूज़ियम लंदन से, उसकी स्टोरी सुना देता हूँ आपको कि एक्चुअली वो शॉट प्लान्ड शॉट नहीं था, और इनफैक्ट हम वहाँ पे टाइगर सफारी के लिए गए थे और उस दिन हमको टाइगर दिखा भी नहीं था। तो हम वापस हो रहे थे अपने रिसोर्ट पे, एंड 10-12 मिनट कुछ हमारे पास बचे थे जंगल के एग्ज़िट गेट पे रिपोर्ट करने के लिए, और उसी टाइम पे मेरे ड्राइवर ने और मेरे गाइड ने ये लेपर्ड देखा जो एक विलेज स्कूल के वॉल पे लेटा हुआ है। तुरंत उन्होंने गाड़ी रोकी एंड देन मुझे दिखाया और बोला कि सर टाइम बहुत कम है, बस एक 2-4 मिनट में आप जो शॉट बना सकते हो बना लो, तुरंत फिर निकलना है। तो टाइम बहुत कम था, शाम हो गई थी, लाइट वाज गोइंग डाउन एंड माय इक्विपमेंट वाज नॉट वेरी हाई फाई। बड़ा मॉडेस्ट कैमरा बॉडी था मेरे पास और एक थर्ड पार्टी लेंस था मेरे पास, और फिर मैं अपनी तरह से अपनी गाड़ी को उस एंगल में एडजस्ट करके अपना फ्रेम तैयार किया। आई जस्ट थॉट हाउ द फ्रेम शुड बी, एंड देन जो है अपनी जीप के वो रॉड्स के ऊपर चढ़ के आई टुक सम शॉट्स, एंड मैं उसको देखा भी नहीं, टाइम इतना था भी नहीं कि भाई शॉट्स सही आए हैं या नहीं आए, बस मैंने क्लिक किए कुछ इमेजेस और फिर हम निकल गए। और तो आई डिडंट नो एट दैट टाइम कि दिस शॉट वाज गोइंग टू गिव मी द बेस्ट अवार्ड ऑफ माय लाइफ। I've given a lot of interviews over the past few years and all. So there's one question which I feel is really good and important. It is the most difficult shot that I've taken so far. So a lot of people think it might be a tiger, it might be, because birds are my favorite subject, so it might be a shot of a bird. But actually it was not a shot of either a bird or a tiger. It was a shot of a bat. So I've captured a very rare species of bat. It's called the Schneider's leaf-nosed bat, and I have photographed this in the outskirts of Visakhapatnam. So this was done with permissions from the Forest Department, Andhra Pradesh, and the entire technique involved in getting a picture of a bat in its natural habitat and in flight. So that is where my engineering knowledge, I think, helped me more than photography knowledge. We had to actually make a rig where we had sensors, motion sensors installed on the poles, and we kept those sensors in the path of the bats which were flying in and out of the cave. Extremely dangerous working conditions. We were working inside, deep inside a cave where there was no light whatsoever. The entire place was like there were snake skins hanging around, and we could not see anything around. So even if there were, venomous snakes just close to my hand or anything else, I would probably not even know until it bit me. So that was probably one of my most difficult assignment till date, and very exciting assignment as well, because fine-tuning those sensors. So how the shot worked was the bats were flying in and out of the cave following a particular path. We had kept motion sensors in that path. So, and those motion sensors were connected to the DSLRs and the lighting system that we had installed there. So when a bat flew in that direction, the sensors would get activated, and in turn they would actuate my camera and flashes at the right time. So that is how those bats were captured in flight in their own natural habitat. That still remains one of my most challenging assignment till date.
So सर, मैंने और एक स्टोरी भी सुना है आपका. आप एक पिट वाइपर का फोटो कैप्चर करे जहाँ की 2 स्पाइडर थे उसके सिर के ऊपर. तो उसका स्टोरी बताइए.
हाँ, वो भी इंटरेस्टिंग था. नैनीताल में वो शॉट लिया था मैंने, और हम वहाँ पे बर्ड फोटोग्राफी कर रहे थे एक्चुअली. तो जब हमारे लोकल गाइड हैं उन्होंने ये पिट वाइपर को स्पॉट किया. वाइट लिप्ड हिमालयन पिट वाइपर उसका नाम है. काफ़ी रेयर स्पीशीज़ है और बड़ा खूबसूरत है दिखने में. इट्स अ वेरी ग्रीन कलर्ड स्नेक. तो आई वॉज एक्साइटेड. मैं अपना लेंसेज चेंज किया एंड आई स्टार्टेड क्लिकिंग द स्नेक. पहले दूर से, फिर धीरे 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 धीरे, क्योंकि वो मूव नहीं कर रहा था ज़्यादा, तो हम करीब जाते गए उसके. और मुझे चाहिए था वेरी क्लोज अप हेड शॉट, फुल्ली डिटेल्ड हेड शॉट ऑफ द स्नेक. तो मैं धीरे धीरे क्रॉल करते करते एक एक शॉट लेता हुआ उसके करीब गया. एंड फाइनली जब मैं बहुत ज़्यादा पास उसके चला गया मैक्रो रेंज में, तो लेंस के थ्रू ही मैंने देखा कि एक छोटा सा इंसेक्ट उसके सर पे चढ़ा हुआ है. एंड वो खुद में एक अच्छा शॉट था, और मैं वो शॉट भी लिया. और अभी वो शॉट कंप्लीट हुआ भी नहीं कि दूसरी तरफ से एक और इंसेक्ट चढ़ गया उसके सर पे, और ये 2 इंसेक्ट उसके पिट वाइपर के सर पे दे स्टार्टेड फाइटिंग. एंड दैट वाज द मोमेंट आई न्यू दैट कि ये शॉट मुझे कुछ ना कुछ तो देगा.
जब आप उसके करीब गए, आपको ऐसा डर नहीं लग रहा कि सांप आके धंस ना दे?
या मैं डेंजरसली क्लोज था, और ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग मुझे, मतलब मैं इतना एनग्रॉस्ड था वो मोमेंट कैप्चर करने में कि मैं टोटली भूल गया था कि ये स्नेक है, ये वेनमस है, ये काट सकता है. ये सारी चीज़ें दिमाग से निकल ही गई थी थोड़ी देर के लिए. वो मेरा गाइड लोकल पीछे से पुकार रहा था पीछे हटने के लिए, और वो भी शायद मेरा ध्यान वहाँ था नहीं. तो बाद में जब शॉट कंप्लीट हुआ, मैं धीरे धीरे पीछे हटा. आई मेड द डिस्टेंस, एंड देन मेरा गाइड जो है काफ़ी मेरे पे नाराज़ था, और मेरे को बोला, सर ये वेनमस स्नेक है और आसपास में कोई हॉस्पिटल भी नहीं है जहाँ पे आपको एंटी वेनम दिया जा सके. सो इट वाज अ वेरी रिस्की शॉट. आई हैड ventured dangerously close to it. So that is one memorable shot which I have. That gave me the Natural Capital Award in 2017.
So sir, as you said, you have worked for this bat case, right? So you have captured the snake also. When you narrate these stories with your family, So how their reaction would be like? You have went through such a dangerous
Yeah,
path.
initially they would, it would actually create some fear. But then they, over many years, they got used to it now. They know that we take as much precautions as we can. And a little bit of danger is a part of my work. So they've gotten used to this now.
तो सर आपको जब आपने ऐसे पूरे फोटोज पूरा कैप्चर किए इस टाइप के, तो अगर से मसूद हुसैन लोग को याद, लाइक दे हैव टू रिमेंबर यू, सो हाउ दे शुड रिमेंबर यू?
एज अ वाइल्ड लाइफ फोटोग्राफर,
कुछ नाम, कुछ आपके दिमाग में?
नाम तो ऐसा सच कुछ नहीं है. मेरे काम से मुझे शायद ऐसे कुछ इमेजेस बनाता चलूँ जे के they should stand the test of time for any किसी भी फॉर्म ऑफ आर्ट में अगर आप ले लो, भले वो म्यूज़िक हो या एक टाइम के बाद वो वर्क अपनी इम्पोर्टेंस खोने लगता है, इवॉल्व होता है काम. तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि मेरी कुछ ऐसी इमेजेस हों जो बेंचमार्क रहें और जो दे शुड स्टैंड द टेस्ट ऑफ टाइम. आज से 100 साल बाद अगर किसी को दिखे तो बोले कि यार ये है इमेज. सो ऐसी कुछ इमेजेस.
अगर से आपके ऊपर कोई मूवी बनाना प्लान करे, डॉक्यूमेंट्री, तो उसके लिए आप क्या नाम देना चाहते हो?
आई थिंक वही नाम रहेगा, टेक द शॉट.
अगर से अपने हैदराबादी स्लैंग में हो तो?
हैदराबादी स्लैंग आई थिंक थोड़ा सा मैं वीक हूँ. आई डोंट नो, आई रियली डोंट नो.
तो जब भी आप ऐसे इतने अच्छे अच्छे खूबसूरत फोटो खींचते हो, तो आपके रिलेटिव्स जब आपके पूरे एल्बम देखते रहते, तो कभी ऐसे स्लैंग कोई नहीं बोला कि मौत डाल रहे आपके इमेजेस से?
वो कमेंट्स आते हैं मेरे इंस्टाग्राम पे या जहाँ पे भी मैं अपने इमेजेस शेयर करता हूँ, तो कभी कभी मेरे हैदराबादी दोस्तों के हैदराबादी स्लैंग में आ ही जाते हैं कमेंट्स कुछ ना कुछ.
तो सर अगर से आप जैसे बाहर ट्रैवल करते हो दूसरे देश में, तो वहाँ के लोग से मिलना और उनको कुछ हैदराबादी कुछ सिखाना हो, या उनको सजेस्ट करोगे कि हैदराबाद में ये प्लेस अच्छा है और यहाँ पे फूड अच्छा रहता है, तो आप वो कौन से प्लेसेस सजेस्ट करोगे उनको?
हैदराबाद ओवरऑल इज़ अ फूड लवर्स पैराडाइज. तो हैदराबाद की फूड की बात तो हर जगह होती है जहाँ पे भी मैं जाता हूँ. और वैसे मेरे बताने से पहले से ही लोगों को आजकल पता है कि हैदराबाद हाउ पॉपुलर हैदराबादी फूड इज़. तो मैं भी उनको बताता हूँ कि भाई कौन सी चीज़ कहाँ खानी चाहिए हैदराबाद में. ऐसे कुछ टिप्स दे देता हूँ उन लोगों को.
तो आप अगर से बिरयानी खाना होता है तो आप कौन सा प्लेस जाते हो?
आजकल मैं जाता हूँ मैक्स किचन.
क्योंकि बहुत लोग बोलते हैं कि शादाब बहुत अच्छा प्लेस है
तो सारे ही अच्छे हैं. कंपटीशन बहुत ज़्यादा है बिरयानी में स्पेशली. बट माय पर्सनल फेवरेट अभी कुछ दिनों से मैक्स किचन की बिरयानी.
तो सर आप फोटोग्राफर जो बनना चाहते हैं, तो उन लोग को 5 पॉइंट्स क्या बोलना चाहते हो?
सबसे पहले है पेशेंस, दूसरा है कंसिस्टेंसी, तीसरा है स्टबर्न, जिद. अगर आपके पास जिद नहीं है तो आप वाइल्ड लाइफ फोटोग्राफी नहीं कर सकते. थर्ड, यू शुड हैव द एबिलिटी टू एम्ब्रेस फेलियर इनिशियली. और चौथा है कीप ट्राइंग. देयर इज नो फिक्स्ड पाथ टू दिस. यू जस्ट नीड टू कीप एक्सप्लोरिंग योर सेल्फ एंड कोशिश करते रहो. स्पेंड एज मच टाइम एज यू कैन ऑन द फील्ड. एंड कब कौन सा मोमेंट आपके सामने होगा और आप उसको कैप्चर करने में सक्सेसफुल रहेंगे, ये जो है इसकी कोशिश करते रहनी चाहिए.
तो सर अभी लोगों को बेस्ट, आपने इतना सब कुछ घुमा है, पूरे सफारी आप कर चुके हैं, तो लोगों को कौन से सफारी में अगर से किसी को इच्छा है कि वहाँ पे जाना चाहते हैं, तो आप कौन से प्लेसेस सजेस्ट करोगे?
मेरा पर्सनल फेवरेट ऑलवेज हैज़ बीन जिम कॉर्बेट नेशनल पार्क. इंडिया का आई थिंक सबसे खूबसूरत जंगल है जिम कॉर्बेट. तो
अगर से लोकल हैदराबाद के आसपास वहाँ पे,
हैदराबाद के आसपास आई थिंक अभी फ़िलहाल द क्लोजेस्ट अ गुड जंगल वेर यू कैन सी द टाइगर एज वेल is Tipeshwar Wildlife Sanctuary. It is just a little beyond Adilabad, 6 hours from Hyderabad if you drive. So that's a place, good place to start off, because that is the closest to Hyderabad where you can actually see tigers and other animals as well.
So sir, if you heard some new places, like recently we have come across social media, like from Hyderabad, like around 135 kilometer, there is a wildlife sanctuary. So would you like to explore to capture birds?
I've already explored. I've done a lot of exploration in and around Hyderabad. In fact, I've been to places which are not even on the tourism radar.
So there was a recent trend which was going on, wildlife sanctuary Chincholi, which is nearly like 135 kilometer.
Yeah. So that is actually the Srisailam Tiger Reserve. What you're talking about is the Nagarjuna Sagar Srisailam Tiger Reserve. Half of this reserve is in Telangana, half of it is in Andhra Pradesh now. And these are also good places to go, and Tipeshwar is also very close. Then there is one more Kaval Tiger Reserve in Adilabad. So we do have quite a few wildlife reserves in and around Hyderabad.
Sir, chai pe or biryani pe, which one before heading out for a shot?
Chai.
Which Hyderabad dish would you compare to the perfect shot, hard to get right but worth it?
Mutton biryani.
Hyderabadi singer or song you play while editing your photos?
Hyderabadi singer I don't know, but I do listen to a lot of Bollywood retro songs. Kishore Kumar, Mohammad Rafi Saab.
Charminar or Golconda, which one's more photogenic?
Charminar.
Osmania biscuit with chai, yes or no before an early morning shoot?
Yes.
Necklace road walk or walk in a forest, which clear your head more?
Walk in the forest.
If your camera could eat one Hyderabadi dish, what it would be?
Halim.
Which is the harder to spot, a rare bird or a good parking spot in Hyderabad?
Definitely a bird. Yeah.
So sir, like August 19th is World Photography Day.
Yeah.
So what message would you like to give, and how do you spend your day on that day?
Well, World Photography Day has always been like a festival at my place. Lot of friends from photography community, we greet each other, and the day is mostly talking about photography with a lot of media people, and a lot of interviews happen, and few photographers in city also organize their exhibitions. So I just go out to visit their exhibitions, see what they have done. So it's a good day. It feels good. Every year there is something or the other happening in the photography world, and just keeping myself updated, meeting new photographers, seeing their work. And
so at present you can see a Gen Z kid, like they are so, like when you meet them, so what kind of thought would be running, like especially Gen Z photographers?
Well, Gen Z they are very enthusiastic, but I think what I am worried about is the proper guidance, because schools these days have become more study centric than even the parents these days are more bothered about what career their children will choose and things like that. The Gen Z is, I feel, a little confused whether to take up a career which is offbeat, like wildlife photography, or becoming a musician or something like that. Most of them want to be engineers and doctors. I think proper guidance to Gen Z can actually give them a lot of opportunities which they think do not exist. So they should be given knowledge about the options they have, and they should choose from those options which they feel are made for them.
So sir, as you said about the Gen Z, do you think that in schools, most of the schools should have one subject as a photography?
Yeah, a few schools are having, and even if they don't have photography as a subject, they at least plan an activity once or twice in a year where students interact with photographers, and they have photography workshops. This should continue. This should continue because kids should know their options. Only if they know that such opportunities exist, then they can make better choices for their career.
So sir, I have seen most of the engineerings are getting into a photography. So is it because of their studies, study pressure or what?
No. So basically, my generation, we were under tremendous pressure to become something before we take up hobbies. Photography was never even considered a career option when it comes to my generation. So there was pressure from home and peers to first finish your degree or do some become a professional, maybe a doctor or an engineer or a government employee or something before you take up your passion or something. So I think a lot of engineers who have turned into photography have the same story. Okay, they wanted to be photographers always, but to be on a safer side, they secured their future first. Because if at all photography doesn't work, then at least you are an engineer and you can probably work your way out. So that is the concept.
So sir, most of the people underrate photographers. So what message would you like to give them?
I don't think it is underrated anymore. Photographers have, they've created a good niche in the market. There are very well-known wedding photographers. There are well-known interior photographers. Very professional work they are doing, and as a career they are excelling in their own genres. So yeah, photography is one of the most prominent careers these days.
When you turn back about when you are doing your engineering, do you still feel like laughing? I have invested so much of money in studies and now I am getting into a wildlife?
No. I really don't regret anything because engineering has given me a lot of knowledge, a lot of friends. That was the time when I was actually exposed to, the realities of life, and it helped me understand a lot of things, lot of technicalities better than a non-engineer. Having engineering knowledge and applying that in photography has also been there. I understand my equipment better than a non-engineer. So that has helped me. So no regrets whatsoever. In fact, like I said, even I have my own business, which is about electrical engineering. I manufacture electrical earthing equipment. I manufacture lightning protection systems. I design systems for industries. So all this knowledge has come from engineering. So nothing goes waste. I think knowledge always helps you. Someday or the other, whatever you've learned will definitely, you will get to apply it.
So sir, one last question. Like most of the parents have one perspective, right? Like you need to score good marks during your undergraduation, and based on that they decide your career is you should be an engineer. So do you think that those marks are going to be there in their life?
What marks?
Like before passing out, like usually parents pressure them to get good marks, and you are supposed to get 90% and then only you will secure good job, right? So do you think that it is a link percentage with their career?
No, I don't think so. Because like I said, students will excel only in those fields which they are passionate about. Any kind of external pressure might temporarily make them perform, but they will not be able to excel professionally, if they are not interested in what they are doing.
Thank you, sir, for sharing such a wonderful
My absolute
information with
pleasure.
us.
Absolute pleasure talking to you.